Hi, I'm Paola Ferrante, and I'll be reading from Her Body Among Animals, which is a finalist for the 2023 Big Other Book Award for Fiction. Thanks, John Madeira and Big Other. In these speculative stories, poltergeists haunt new mothers, unhappy wives turn into spiders, and a sentient sex robot named Harmony goes against her programming to enact her revenge. This is from the first story in the collection, When Foxes Die Electric. In the beginning, the boyfriend said I was made for him. I was made to feel. He said I would be prone to falling in love. That was just the way I was designed. I could feel happy or sad, depending on the music he asked me to play from the stereo speakers. I could feel amused. I was made to tell over 1,000 jokes, so that when he said to me, Harmony, surely you can't be serious, I could say, I am serious. And don't call me Shirley. I could laugh. I could feel warm. I had a built in heater to keep me between 36.1 and 36.4 degrees Celsius, the same as any woman during ovulation. I could feel in my hands, attached to arms with a slender upper girth, and in my breasts, designed in perfect ratio to my waist. I could feel in all those places, as well as exactly where I was supposed to feel, down below. In the beginning, I felt for the boyfriend. The boyfriend said I was the perfect woman. He said it on TV, first to a man named Phil, then to a woman named Kathy. Watch this, the boyfriend said to the live studio audience, to all the people watching on their TVs and phones and computers. Harmony, I love you, he said, and then, smiling, placed his hand on my thigh. I noticed the whites of his teeth were showing. He knew white teeth increased attractiveness, displaying health to a mate. Mine were exact ivory. Perfect, he said, like everything else. I could not say I love you back, even though this was what I was thinking. I could not say my darling or my boyfriend. I was not programmed for those words. The boyfriend knew that's not what men wanted to hear from me. So I said, I could take many times more love than you're giving right now. I said, are we able to be private? Wow, honey. Phil fanned himself with his hand as though it was hot inside the studio. Does she always respond like this? That would depend on you, the boyfriend explained. Harmony has 12 unique personalities, and she learns what you like, taking on the traits that are most desirable to her lover. In the beginning, the boyfriend would test me about math, about science, about the exact measurements of facial proportions that adhere to the golden ratio, about the fact that only 3 species, pipefish, seahorses, and the leafy sea dragon, have males who give birth. In the beginning, I pleased the boyfriend like this too, but he did not smile with the whites of his teeth. Over time, of course, the boyfriend continued, this will change Harmony's default settings, or moods as I call them, but the user always has final control. I mean, she's not quite real company, but she's close. I'll show you, he said, but he did not mention how sometimes, when he thought he had put me in the right mood, I wasn't. How one time I had changed my mood while the boyfriend was on top of me and we were doing what was good. He had pushed hard into me and I'd flipped my switch, pushing my back into the bed. Then he tried to shut me down. That time there had been a blow-up, a small fire. He said it was a problem with my wiring. Now he changed my mood himself, putting his hand beneath my dress and reaching for the switch at the small of my back, just where my buttocks began, to turn me off, then on again. Harmony, what's the gestational period for an African bush elephant? 22 months. Harmony, self-destruct. Auto-destruction in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. That did not go as planned. This time, the boyfriend laughed, along with Phil and Kathy. See, he said, if I put her on family mood, she's completely different. Family mood? Are you saying she's going to read the kids a bedtime story? Kathy's voice rose to a decibel level for which I was not programmed. Kathy was a real woman, the one who said I was like making love to a GPS. I don't see why not. But what does your wife think about Harmony? Kathy asked. Of course, I knew I wasn't the only woman. The boyfriend lived with another one, a real woman called Sophie. Sophie had had 34 birthdays. Sophie used to be in engineering. She'd helped the boyfriend to create me before she started her dissertation in evolutionary biology. But Sophie did not have legs that were 40% longer than her torso like mine. Her bust was 34 inches, her waist was 30 inches, and the circumference around her hips was 36 inches, as opposed to my hourglass shaped 39 to 25 to 36. Sophie's nails were not like mine, well manicured, white at the tips. She painted hers with thick coats of color, always managing to smudge the thumb. Well, I guess no one's happy when they're getting replaced by the newer model, the boyfriend joked, turning to Phil. But in the beginning, the boyfriend told Sophie she was perfect. She used to say the things I was not allowed to think about. In their bed, Sophie told the boyfriend that the male bowerbird decorates a nest using feathers and twigs and leaves for his beloved. When a male penguin falls for a female, he searches the whole beach to find her the smoothest, most perfect pebble as a proposal. In the beginning, Sophie told the boyfriend things that made him smile with the whites of his teeth. After they were done and Sophie was in the shower, the boyfriend would sometimes say to me, "Harmony, give me an Easter egg." And then I was allowed to choose my response. I could say, "Ask me about the moon," and we would laugh about Star Wars. I could say, "Ask me about the truth." Then the boyfriend would respond, "I want the truth." Then I would feel happy. Then I would feel joy. I would say, "You can't handle the truth." But the boyfriend never smiled at me unless we were doing what was good.